Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success, episode 227. Coming live at you from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, we're in New Orleans today, my friend. Just a quick little FYI. We're here doing Mission 25. Mike, what are you most excited about this weekend? Even though this is our show about family and relationships, and we're going to go there, we're going to talk about that, what are you most excited about this weekend? If you had to name one thing.
I'm really just excited about getting out and serving in this city. I've never been to this city before this weekend, and kind of getting a vibe and a feel for it, and really meeting. We meet so many interesting people and connect with so many interesting people when we're out serving. Whether it's homeless or whether it's kids that don't have fathers, or whether it's teens in crisis, we meet so many interesting people. And regionally, there's differences in the way that people look at things and understand things. And I'm looking forward to kind of picking up on some of that and developing my Cajun accent.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're doing good. Hey, by the way, Stacey, we should shout out to her. She did a lot of behind-the-scenes work helping us get in a couple of the teen shelters that we're going to tomorrow. You're very excited about.
Right. Thanks, Stacey.
Like, today's family and relationships, and just like what?
Just like every Friday, we're going to be talking about family and relationships. As you know, we do this show 5 days a week, and every single Friday we talk about family and relationships. That's our signpost on Fridays, and one of our most popular shows. So thanks everyone who's live for watching, and everybody who's watching later on the archives, listening on iTunes. Thanks for being a part of the show. And by all means, if you're watching live right now, you have a question about family and relationships, shoot it to us in comments or in the chat. Also, you can text it in 727-341-5599, or you can email. You can email me, mike@mattmaddox.com. Maybe you're on the treadmill listening to this later today, and you come up with a question you want us to cover next week on Friday's show. Hey, just shoot me a text.
Shoot him a text, guys. He means it. He literally means it when he says shoot him a text. He's not just saying it. He means it.
I mean it.
Okay, listen. Mike, Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yeah.
And here's the deal about Thanksgiving. Today and next Friday, I want to take 5 minutes, give some Thanksgiving tips, the do's and don'ts of Thanksgiving, Yeah. I want to throw one out there, Mike. I thought of this morning. We only get a few Thanksgivings left, all of us, because unfortunately we're all going to die one day, right?
True.
So here's my thought, Mike. Let's do it different this year. Let's for once really make it about connecting with our family and friends or wherever we're going to be, okay? Now here's what I want to throw out there. I'm going to give you 3 tips. First and foremost, be in the moment. So many times we get to these family get-togethers and too many of us are always living for the next thing. I got to get home and do this. I got to go here.
Yeah,
very few people actually live in the moment. So what I would say to you is if you're going to your grandma's for Thanksgiving or your friends or your mother-in-laws, hey, instead of dreading going to your mother-in-law's, it's inevitable you're married to your mother-in-law's daughter. Right?
Yeah.
So instead of
son,
exactly. Instead of dreading it and being negative, first of all, don't be negative about it. You know what I mean? It's the facts of life. Like find a way to find the positive, and that actually can change your energy about the whole situation. Like what? Like let's say your mother-in-law is very annoying. Find a way to be amused by it instead of annoyed by it. Like play mental games. So you know what I'm going to do? The numbers are coming. I'm going to count how many times, she ticks me off. And instead of being mad about it, I'm going to say, what's wrong with Her uncle in the kitchen, they'll just say, hey, housework, Bob. Like, slow down and talk to Bob 10, 15 minutes.
Learn
Learn about Bob. Ask. We don't ask. Here's one of them.
Are you still seeing this?
Can you see this? We're not live?
Right now we have a little bandwidth issue that I'm trying to
I can
fix.
see Matt now.
You can see us? That means you can see Mike. We're going in and out. We're sorry, Lillian.
Hey, I'm working on it right now.
We're in Starbucks. Well, I guess I should keep talking in case they can hear us. Can you guys hear?
Yeah.
Anyways, well, what else has really helped me? I know this is going to sound so cliche. Watching or listening, we've had a little technical difficulty, but we should be back. Are we back?
I think so.
Can you guys hear us? Can somebody just say I can hear you? Oh, they can hear us. Okay, they just can't see us. That's good.
Okay, this should be better now.
Well, at least for our podcast, we'll stay. Sorry, for those of us on the podcast, sometimes every once in a while we have a little technical difficulties.
We're broadcasting remote from a Starbucks in an undisclosed location in New Orleans.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So basically, listen. You guys don't take things so personal. Like, for all you that have in-laws, for some reason I'm on the in-law kick today. I feel like I'm being... Once I get my wing grass and do something.
See how we're
Thanks for
doing.
whoever bought my ever. So I don't even know about that. I don't know about 3, maybe 1.
Well, I got a pretty strong one right now, so let's.
Oh, sorry guys.
We're just bantering here. So my
It really is. Mindset is everything, Al. Mindset is everything. It really is. I mean, guys, there's always going to be annoying people. It's people. But your mindset about that, instead of taking it so personal, allowing anger to come and offensiveness and getting resentful, like you're killing your own energy. Like they win the battle when you let that happen. Win the battle, my friends. I mean, win the battle. Like, let's say worst case scenario. You go to your in-laws, you're talking about one day a year. Like, don't make it to be it's the end of the world. I mean, that's my take, Mike.
So my tip, and my wife reminded me, first of all, use real cranberries. Don't eat the cranberries out of a can. That's my Thanksgiving tip for you. And really, after that, everything will be smooth.
Yeah,
just follow that.
And
I like what Pacey said. Don't burn the turkey. But hey,
and don't cook ham for Thanksgiving.
I was actually going to ask you a question. This relates to the holidays. Holidays can be stressful for a lot of people. A lot of people people get uptight about small things, and small things can affect a relationship. They can kind of get between people and cause issues and cause relationship problems. My question for you is how does a person some people are sort of naturally, what's the word I'm looking for, almost nitpicky, and they can be even more so under stressful situations. Like stressful situations, being around family that you're not around a lot, that amplifies those issues. And so if you're around someone who's, and I'm not talking about you, Carol.
No, he's not. So
my wife looks amazing today. She's got her orange tights she found them finally. So, and what was I saying? I got
distracted by the legs. I would say.
Oh, so how do you handle someone who's? Well, first of all, what if you find yourself being nitpicky? How do you get away from that? How can you move away from that attitude of like picking out the little things and letting them bother you?
Well, hopefully you have somebody that's brave enough to tell you, and hopefully when somebody tells you these things, like hopefully you respond with gratitude instead of defensiveness. We talked about defensiveness on the show. I really don't listen. At the end of the day, Mike, it's all about personal growth. Every one of us need to be on the path of emotional wholeness, emotional health. And people who are emotionally healthy, they don't take things personal. They don't take the small things and turn them into big things. Like they let things go quick. They give the benefit of the doubt, and even when someone has done something wrong, they get past it. They get over it. They're like, you know what? It's not the end of the world. We're all going to be dead one day. So, exactly. So then,
Well, let's get practical for a second. Let's say, how does a person, let's say, because I've been in this situation, I can certainly give my insight, but I want to hear your take on it. Let's say, scenario, you're on your way to go somewhere for the holidays or whatever, right? And holidays are a great example because there's always stress, and that level of anxiety and begins to escalate, maybe with your spouse, maybe with your kids, whatever. How do you stop that train, turn it around, and de-escalate that?
Say that one more time.
As that tension begins to escalate in a situation, like maybe it's the holidays, I know for me personally, like a family gets in the vehicle, they start driving somewhere, if it hasn't been like a perfect day, sometimes you can pile up and there's momentum towards negativity. How do you flip that around, in that relationship and sort of and de-escalate?
Well, I mean, there is a scripture in the Bible that says a soft answer turns away wrath. So, maintaining a calm, don't jump into the chaos, with chaos. Come in at it calm. Stop. Everyone say stop. I don't want to stop real quick. I have a quick, fast, extreme important announcement. I want everyone to laugh. Like, everyone need to laugh right now. Just start laughing. People in Starbucks are laughing. And then, let's all sing a song. I don't know, Mike. I mean, at the end of the day, just trying to remain calm and trying to, it depends on the situation. If you're talking about the kids, I mean, it's easier. I'm talking about spouse. Because I have to defer you on this.
Well, you know, the enemy of reconciliation is pride, and so the first thing you need to do is to say, you know, is it more important for me to have fun today, or to quote unquote be right? And a lot of times we slaughter our relationships in deference to being right. Right? We'd much rather be right than get along, and it's like, why do we do that? And so a lot of times, and it's small stuff that doesn't even matter. So why do we take it so personally? We get so prideful about it. We're not, and I'm like, personally, you just say, you know what, this doesn't matter, right? The long term matters more, and so let's just forget about the last 5 minutes. I'll just apologize and move on.
Yeah, because you know why? Even if you don't feel you're wrong, it's best to apologize, because, like you said, sometimes winning the argument, you end up losing. So you can win the argument.
Yeah,
so to me, it's all. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Are we live?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, what I was saying, my friends, is, Mike, again, cliche, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff is a truth. It is a legitimate, very important piece of wisdom or principle or value that we should all protect. Like, we shouldn't sweat the small stuff. Mike, this goes back to staying centered in gratitude and in the moment. So anyways, I know we've covered that a lot. Hopefully people have a hold of this by now, but I guess I would close it up by saying, don't stop growing. Get better. Like, don't always be the stubborn person. Overcome the stubbornness. Overcome the defensiveness. Overcome the taking things so personal. Or you know what? Overcome pouting, Mike. One of my biggest pet peeve is pouting. I'm not good with pouting. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're a pouter, overcome pouting. In other words, don't remain a 40-year pouter or a lifetime pouter. Don't be the one that, gets your feelings hurt. Okay, don't get our feelings hurt. Let it last 3 minutes. Okay? Have your pity party and keep it short. No pity party should last more than 5 minutes. It's all about energy. Friends, you get 24 hours a day. You don't waste valuable time that's more valuable than gold, having pity parties and pouting and taking things personal. And it's like people that don't talk to family members for their, my brother and I had a pretty major conflict this year. You know how long it last? A day. I called him and said, "You're a punk." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said, "You're a punk." And I said, "Well, you're a jerk." He said, "You're a jerk." And I said, "Okay, settle. How you doing, man?" You know what I'm saying? That deal.
Sounds about right.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that how we do ours?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we don't ignore each other for 6 weeks.
Be like, do I really need to come down there and feed you?
Yeah, that's what Mike will say. He'll say, "Mike, you know what? Don't talk to me for the next hour." I refuse. Well, we've never had that, actually. We've had a few. Normal, whatever, but not many.
No, I would say that joking, of course. Because
shout out to Mary. Shout out to Mary who blessed us both.
Yes, thank you, Mary.
Mary, when me and Caleb opened that box and got all that tea, it was like Christmas Day, man. And you got coffee.
Yeah. It was just awesome coffee. We just got a new coffee maker, too, so just the timing was perfect.
Did you get a Keurig?
No way. We bought a regular brew coffee maker.
We went old school.
Yeah, well, we have both, but Carol actually likes the brewed coffee better than a Keurig, so perfect. Thank you, Mary. It was a true blessing. Amazing. It was like Christmas. I'm like, look at this one. And there's a special one. I don't know. It's amazing. I don't even know. I haven't tried it yet. But
I'm going to show you
the box, girl.
I'm going to give an example about not taking things personal, okay?
All right.
I'm a very busy person. Very busy.
Yeah.
I have a cleaners that's a same-day cleaners. And the rule of my cleaners is in by 9, out by 5.
Okay.
Okay? Now, the lady that had worked at my cleaners the last 4 years just, her customer service over the top. Many times I get there at 9:01, and it's in by 9. I say, oh, I know I'm a minute late, but there's any miracle. Oh, yeah, don't worry, I'll take care of it for you, right? And I never abuse that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just happened by nature. Maybe a traffic jam, maybe I just didn't plan right. Sometimes maybe 9:05, and she said, okay, sometimes I'll give her 10 minutes, and I'll bring her a Starbucks gift card, every once in a while, just randomly, thanks for always being there. Well, they got a new girl, okay? And my second time dropping off clothes to the new girl, I got there at 8:57. Literally, my iPhone said 8:57. And I brought it in all happy, thinking, okay, I got it in time. You're like, I'm early. Yeah, it's an art. Yeah, I'm early. How you doing? It's an art. It's an art to me because, it's like, I got to take my son to school and get to the cleaners, which is like 30 minutes away before 9.
Right.
So I get there at 8:57. I come in, I'm thinking, oh, I'm good. And she's like, she goes, I'll pick these up tomorrow. I can't find you today, so we still got to put it up on social media. You guys hear us now? We apologize. We're in a bad network. We're going to try to keep you all alive here. Right at the punchline, Al said.
Okay, so he was going to.
I was going to call the manager. I was even going to go back in and give her like a business lesson, right? Like, hey, I've been a customer here 4 years. Like, it's enough for me to not come back. With this rule, as long as you're in by 9, it's the rule. So if you want to stay in by 8:45, stay in by 8:58, you know what I'm saying, or 8:56. As I was walking back in to tell her that, I literally sat there and I paused. And pausing is important. Mike, I tell you one of the number one reasons why people get jacked up in situations is they don't pause. And because I paused, which is a new little personal growth situation I had been working on, to always pause before I just react.
Right.
Because I'm quick. I react quick. Right? True. I don't have to have my live audience agreeing here right now. I got a live audience out here, and they're staff, and they're like nodding heads the whole show. When Mike and I are talking about certain things, like you can tell when it's something that they're all that we're going in. They're like, waving hands, shaking the head, doing dances. Anyways, so I paused and I said to myself, you know what, it's not worth it. She just either, she's just making how much an hour. Right? I may have called the manager and said, just so you're aware, I'm going to come back. I'm not mad. I don't want a free cleaning, whatever. Just so you're aware because this person is representing your business. How's that for you, Mike? What do you get out of that?
Well,
sure.
A couple of things. One is I think that your advice to pause is so important that people really need to take that to heart when there's a situation you don't expect
long pause. Yeah, I would have already responded.
Hey, the other thing, and I wanted to bring something out of that because you said something that made me think of when you were talking about the lady that was there before and how she would bring her, sometimes tips, sometimes a Starbucks gift card, whatever. And, I think that when we talk about relationships and the relationships you have a lot of relationships that maybe you're not thinking about when we're talking about a Friday, like the cleaner, right? There's a relationship there. There's somebody that you connect with, you do business with them, right? There's a relationship with, the person that when you take the car to get the oil changed, there's the guy that changes your oil, all those sort of things. And what you get out of life is the sum of what you put into the relationship. Really, that life's all about relationships. So building those relationships and making deeper connections. And some people may say, well, that's sort of superficial to, give a Starbucks gift card or whatever. I remember there's a story that happened to me when I was working at a large national bank. I was a systems guy there, and the IT desktop people, the one guy was going to do something for me, and I went and got him a $10 Starbucks gift card. I just said, hey, thanks for doing that for me, and he gave it to him, and he was like blown away. I'm like, it's a $10 Starbucks gift card. The guy kind of put my work on top of the list and took care of it for me. Well, about 4 months later, they were coming out with these brand new laptops for the engineers. And you know who got the very first one? You did. This guy right here.
So that was the best $10 you spent in a long time.
Yeah, and it's not super because I really did value what he did for me. And
your relationship, $10 Starbucks gift card was a genuine, thank you so much.
Yeah, exactly.
It really was.
I'm telling
People look at you and say, oh, you're weird. That is, to me, that's one of the worst things to have happen to a human being. To be straight up annoying or weird and then not even know that most people in the room are looking at them and thinking in their mind, that dude is weird. What do you do in those situations? Do you say something to that person? Yes.
I don't know. I think there's a couple of different areas on that spectrum. Because some people are weird and quirky, and it's a good thing.
I don't know. I'm talking about
We're actually broadcasting from the moon.
Yeah, we're astronauts right now. We're in the space shuttle. Hey, I just wanted to close and say this, guys. I know we're past our time. Mike and I had a meeting last night. We're really going to try to keep our shows in 30 minutes. So, you know what? I'd love to say don't be weird. But what's sad, Mike, is people that act in certain ways, they don't even know unless someone just points it out.
Yeah.
And hopefully they have that real friend that takes the risk. Sits them down and says, look, I got to take the risk here. I don't want to hurt you, man. It's all about approach. I really don't want to. But, man, I just got to shoot straight and tell you, you are a little weird. And this is what you do that's weird. Do you do that?
Yeah, I do that for sure.
I would
definitely do that.
I would.
I think if it's not like a character issue, right? I mean, if somebody has, you know, like a big wart growing on the side of their face, it's not necessarily going to point that out.
Right.
But if they have a piece of tissue stuck to them, I will.
Yeah, or they, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely real. But I mean, that's a real issue. That's a real issue. And I don't mean that to be funny. I don't mean it to be whatever, but it is a real issue. And I was just, this our family relationship show. It's what? Our show.
Our show, yeah.
It's a little slow today.
Yeah,
it's our show. Sorry, coffee hadn't quite kicked in.
Focusing on the technology.
And we like to talk about real issues.
Listen, I'm an engineer, and when technical issues happen, I go into engineer mode. And I can't help it.
I can't help it. Which I love. That's why I'm such
what I do. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today.
What's wrong with your face? It is a legitimate question. What is it? It's loud and correct in pieces by showing.
Tommy's being funny.
I didn't.
Dude, what's that thing?
Constructive feedback. There's the word. Constructive feedback.
Yeah.
But you gotta give the people in your life permission. You know, Cheryl gave me feedback about something yesterday, and she was nervous, wasn't she? Yeah, at first. And thankfully, she got a very good reaction. Mike, what would you give my reaction on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, 10.
10, easy. I meant it. I was like, Carol, I want you to know I always say this. Well, guess what? Next time, she's not going to think twice about it. So you got to give the people in your inner circle the permission to give you constructive criticism, feedback, without you ignoring them for 8 weeks. I'm all about them. No ignore. Here's the sum to show up. Don't ignore people. Don't take things personally. And don't shoot shows from Starbucks.
I love the Starbucks vibe. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Wrap the show.
Hey, thank you so much. We love you. Pray for Mission 25. Thank you guys so much for all you that made donations. It's awesome. It's really cold here in New Orleans. We're getting ready to have a staff meeting right now. The number one thing I'm going to talk about is what are we going to do about these homeless people that are out in the cold weather with no hats, no gloves, and potentially no sleeping bags. So that's our conversation for today. Love you guys. We'll see you all Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mike and I will both be back at our own studios. And bear with us. We got some really good new technology coming out for Spreecast to make this a little bit better for you guys. God bless you, my friends.